Hello everyone. Children, today we'll continue our chapter lesson 14. Let's begin with the non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement. Gandhi ji launched the non-cooperation movement in 1920. He asked the people of India not to work in government offices and resign from their jobs, laws, firms, schools, colleges and boycott all British goods. Gandhi ji believed in peaceful means non-violent protest. The struggle for independence was gaining momentum and mass support, but in 1922, at Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh, an angry mob set fire to a police station and 22 policemen lost their lives. Gandhiji was deeply disturbed by the violent turn of the movement and decided to call it off. Next is Simon Commission. Since there was widespread unrest in India, the British introduced certain changes in their governance. As a result, a committee was formed under Sir Simon to make necessary modifications to the existing laws. However, as there was no Indian in the commission, people decided to boycott it. The commission came to India in 1929 and was greeted with demonstrations and slogans of Simon Go Back. During one such demonstration, Lala Lajpat Rai was hit badly on his head and passed away from this injury. Now, new leadership. A number of new leaders had come up in the interim. Rajendra Prasad, Abul Kalam Azad, Sarojini Naidu, Motilal Nehru and Jawaharlal Nehru and Ballabh Pant assumed leadership roles, and some other names worth mentioning are C. Raja Gopalachari and Chittaranjan Das. Next topic is Dandi March. The British laws were unfair and unjust, and one such law was the Salt Law, which did not allow the Indians to make salt from the sea water. Instead, the Indians had to purchase the salt from the British at a higher price. Gandhiji decided to defy this law. He, along with his followers, walked 300 kilometers from Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad to Dandi, a small village near the seashore in Gujarat. This journey was historically called the Dandi March. On reaching Dandi, Gandhiji and his followers broke the salt law by making salt, and they were lathi charged and many were injured, but they stood united in their resolve. This was the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Now, civil disobedience movement. At the Lahore session of 1929, the Congress declared that it wanted complete independence from the British. This gave shape to the civil disobedience movement. The Dandi March had already motivated the people. The movement saw active participation from various parts of India, and in the northwestern part of India, the movement was led by Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, who was also known as the Frontier Gandhi. Now, the Second World War and the Quit India movement. World War II broke out in 1939. The British decided to participate in the war and send Indian troops to fight without consulting the Indian leaders. On 8th of August 1942, at the All India Congress Committee session in Mumbai, Gandhiji launched the Quit India movement. The next day, Gandhi, Nehru and many other leaders were arrested. This angered the Indian people and they held demonstrations all over India. Gandhiji called for a voluntary British withdrawal from India and gave the slogan, "Do or die." And thousands were injured and many were killed during the Quit India movement. Strikes were held in many places. The British suppressed many of these demonstrations by mass arrests, and more than 100,000 people were put in jail. Women too participated in the movement in large numbers. The Quit India movement united the people of India, and after the World War II, the demand for complete independence became stronger. Now, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Netaji played a very important role in the freedom struggle. He became the president of the Congress twice. He was also sent to jail by the British a number of times. In 1941, he managed to leave India through Afghanistan. He was in Japan in 1943 and organized an armed struggle against the British from outskirts of the country. He formed the Indian National Army to free India from the British rule. The army also had a women's regiment named Rani Jhansi Regiment. The call Jai Hind was given by Netaji. Now India gains freedom. The British followed the policy of divide and rule. To weaken the unity of the nation, the British government agreed to the demands of the Muslim League to divide India into two countries, India and Pakistan. It was his speech as the first Prime Minister of India that Nehru uttered the wonderful words, "At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom." Indian leaders were deeply saddened by these developments. On 14th August 1947, at the stroke of midnight, India became free. A new nation called Pakistan was formed out of India, which became an Islamic state. The first president of India was Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of Free India. So children, today we have completed our chapter 14, and today we will also do the back exercises of chapter 14 and question answers of chapter 14. And in the next session we will come up with the new chapter.